Boy, you are a teaser. Mm-hmm. Now, teaser tells talking about the man that's vindicated. Oh my God, babe.
Hey, what's up, guys? How y'all doing today? Well, baby, if you think it's Jay-Z, the pressure is getting what's up. Listen, we got the legal docs. It looks like Tony Buzbee has been vindicated. It looked like a lot of the rumors that were going around about Jay-Z actually might be true. And it looks like Jane Doe, even though she dropped her lawsuit against Diddy and Jay-Z, has doubled down and said, baby, the only reason I dropped it is because of harassment and intimidation. And get this, the paperwork Jay-Z submitted, which we do have the legal docs, and we're gonna read them to you, actually prove everything that she's been saying. I don't know what's going on in Jay-Z's camp. I just know that the evidence he's submitting, I waver back and forth, because at the end of the day, baby, we are seeing through all the BS, PR, manipulation, and make no mistake, and both sides are doing PR manipulation. Maybe it's 2025, you have to. But the evidence that Jay-Z keeps submitting, baby, it's not hitting the way you think it's hitting. Let's get into this. Listen.
Now, I don't know if they're paying this woman to do this, but I read the paperwork too, babe, and I don't see any spin cycle. Now, you're a cute woman. You are too cute for this behavior. Yeah, I saw that. I put money on the Knicks. So hopefully they pull it off. I bet LeBron wouldn't get over 28 points. I shouldn't have done that. I actually went high on Luka tonight. I shouldn't have done that. But we'll see. Anyway, let's get back to this. See, there's one thing that this woman did not mention in her video for a whole hour and 30 minutes is why Tony Buzbee put that woman in the stand knowing that woman's mental condition. Now, they want to take what she says at face value and omit the fact that this woman was just arrested for assault. She has claimed SA cases 3 different times, and they were all dismissed. And all of this was prior to him having the actual send out for a meeting for mediation and everything else. Not one of these Tony Buzbee supporters can explain that to me. Why they omit that? They skip over that part that this man who vetted her they said venomously vetted this woman. How you're not gonna know this woman had a case that was just in court less than 30 days prior. And since they so stuck into the Tony Buzbee case, and they swear by this man, they treat this woman as if she's sane. Oh, she said it was only because. What's going to be next? I don't know. They seem to be doing something weird to the channel right now. Oh, it's a high-scoring game. It's halftime. That's why I took off. It's 60-51. Yeah, well, that's what happens. Back on live. I didn't know I was off live. You see what I'm saying? They done did all kind of craziness. They trying to mess me up due to the fact that they love to try to mess me up due to the fact that it's about Tony Buzbee, Jay-Z, the whole nine. So they knock you on, they knock you off, because it was showing that I was live still. So I was like, what's going on? Unless it's JB. The only JB I know is James Brown, and he ain't coming back. So if Miss Tails could explain that to me, how a woman who's mentally ill, as she is, who recanted her story, says this was her story, dropped her lawsuit with prejudice, so she can't even file again. Now they're trying to say, oh, she was under duress. Nobody's going for her. She told a private investigator who wasn't hired by Roc Nation all of these details over and over again. And she said over numerous of times she was not assaulted by Jay-Z. Now she finna play the nutty role again and try to say, all right, but what does this do for me? Well, for one, it's gonna keep you out of jail. Now she's playing the role of, hey, this wasn't me, it was him. Well, he filed it under your name. Yeah, but she's really crazy. She's documented crazy. Now, Teaser Tails is going to have to come up with a tale that's going to entertain the entire masses so she can explain to the rest of the world why this is sticking. Yeah, and I want to know why do they're so convinced that this woman is telling the truth. It's like, why do y'all so convinced that they're telling the truth when you know that she's mentally ill? Y'all know this woman is mentally ill, but yet y'all believe she's telling the truth. But nobody is talking about why Tony Buzbee took her case and said he vetted this woman. Y'all have not once, none of these Busby people, not once said, why would Tony Buzbee take her story at face value with no evidence, no physical evidence, nothing? Who first did not name Jay-Z, had Diddy in the lawsuit, went back, redacted, and added Jay-Z to the lawsuit. Now, if Tony Buzbee falls, it all falls down. Now, here's the next question, Miss Teaser Tails. Let me look at you, because I want you to see me. And I want you to answer the question in any of these Tony Buzbee people. All right? The federal government is not using any of your witnesses. None of y'all have been called in to be witnesses. None of your evidence in the case and none of your civil cases have been picked up by the feds. And they reviewed all of it. Out of all the hundreds of people you got, not one has been added to the federal case. Can you explain that to me, any of you Busby people who've been over here with your Tony Buzbee pom-poms? Please explain that to us. Because if the evidence was any good, don't you think the federal government would have taken it? They have a federal case against this man. They have him locked up right now for no reason. All I can tell you is this. When it's all said and done, when the smoke clears and everything is done and it's clear, I want them to ask themselves one question. Was it worth it? Was it all worth it? For clicks and views, was it all worth it? To have no morals. Is it worth it? You'll ruin your entire integrity. Or maybe you didn't have it to begin with. Maybe we give people too much credit. Maybe they didn't have integrity. And they don't know what that word means. And it's not about going against what I said. It's when you ignore absolute facts to perpetuate a theory that you believe because it doesn't fit your agenda. That's when you lose credibility. Your integrity has met its end. And there's cracks in the ceiling. One thing about me, I have been consistent my entire life. When I say Isaiah Thomas is the greatest player that ever played a game of basketball, the same way y'all are hearing that from me is the same way I said it in 1988, 87, 89, 90. And everybody will attest to that. I don't say it for clicks and views. Isaiah Thomas is on my wall in my house. I don't say things for clicks and views. I say it because I believe it. That's why, that's the difference. You can either believe it or not, but one thing's for sure, two things for certain. I say what I believe. I ain't gonna do something just for some clicks and views. If that's the case, hell, I could do that every night and just make clickbait titles and just go to work. Yeah, I'm gonna make it up here for the second half. Watch the rest of this game. Yeah, halftime should be over by now. But ask those Busby people to really look at that lawsuit that Jay-Z got against Jane Doe, because it's clear what's gonna happen here. She's gonna flip, and she's already flipping, and she's already gave him the goods. So now they can sue Tony Buzbee, who they really want in this whole mess. She's the key. They don't want her. They want her to do her job, and she's going to give up Tony and everybody else. Or she's going to risk going to jail. So she's going to give them all up. And then when she does that, they're doomed. They're screwed. Because now you're going to be having to pay tens of millions of dollars that you're not going to be able to afford. And wait till you get hit with the lawsuit by Beyonce. See, Beyonce and Blue haven't even hit you with their distress. Oh, yeah. You see, there's layers to this. That's all coming later. So they want to play this game. Believe me, Tony better... He should have cut his losses early, but by sticking to his guns, he really put himself in the crosshairs. He really screwed up. So, let's go Knicks. I'm rooting for the damn Knicks. Ain't that something? Woo! We up out. Shouts out to Kwame Brown, Bust Life, Ticket TV. You gotta wake up, baby. Gotta wake up out this slump. Shouts out to Outlaw coming through. Welcome to HDII TV, and I'm out.